All right, power to the people.
Power to the people.
So, you know, one of the things that I do oftentimes, and I'm going to do today, because might everybody not be familiar with it, is that we got to start off with some libations, because we want to call in the ancestors to be here with us, right? Because the ancestors are what strengthens the family. When we think about stuff like this happening, we got to say, how do we strengthen the people who are in the place? And one thing we do is we call upon that power source that we got, our spiritual, our ancestral power base. Ashe? No, Ashe? Ashe. So we need all of y'all to say, when we pour libations, everybody say Ashe. It's a Yoruba word. It means so be it. It's like saying Amen or Amen. So then we do that together. So we're going to pour libations for all those brothers and sisters who died in Middle Passage to make it possible for us to be here today. Ashe? Ashe. We pour libations for my brother called, who was that? It was Africa. Where's Africa at? Okay, oh, there he is over there. Africa called none other than El Haj Malik El Shabazz. Ashe? And then we had Minister Haqq called W.E.B. Du Bois. Ashe? And so all of those folks who struggled, you guys, now y'all call out some names. Call some names out so we make sure their energy is here. Ashe. 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 Now, I want you to call out some of your family ancestors, because your family is the one who made it personally possible for you to be here. So the Rodwell Spivey family, call out your ancestors, your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents. Ashe. Come on, y'all got to say Ashe too. Ashe. Anybody else? Ashe. And we say Bodwell means all the others. And all the others in the Rodwell Spivey family say Ashe. Ashe. And then so when we do so, we want to call and make sure that we recognize all those brothers and sisters whose names we haven't spoken, but we know that they love us, they support us, and that they uplift us today. So we say Ashe. 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 So when we think about this, we know there's been, as already been said, there's been so much fighting going on for our sense of upliftment, for our way to address the ways we've been attacked. Most people don't know about this, but the police in the modern day that we see it today, that they started as slave catchers. And so they're still operating under that mentality today. And so when we understand that they operating under that mentality, then we know the type of ways in which they operate. You see, when you see something and you know how it operates, then that means that you move differently. And so then, if you also don't know, my brother was talking about knowing the Constitution earlier. And if you don't know the Constitution, you need to know, there you go, know the Constitution so that you know the laws that the cops are obligated to. That don't mean they always follow them, but you know what they're obligated to. And so when you have the power of knowledge in your hands, then you approach stuff differently. You have the power of the community around you. And we need to know that every time that we go up against various issues, that the community is going to be there to support you. You see, when you look around you today, it's important that you get somebody's name, that you connect with somebody who is here today who you didn't know before. Because otherwise, you just come out here, you're standing around, and you see the same people you already know, and you leave with no new information. So you didn't gain anything. If we do the same thing tomorrow that we did today, we don't, if you think there's going to be something different, there's not. You got to do something different. Reach out, step outside your comfort zone, and talk to somebody who came out here to support, and then pull them into your circle. And that goes both ways. If you're here and you've never been here before, reach out, touch somebody who you don't know, and pull yourself into their circle. Later on tonight, they're having a voter registration party. Think about that, right here in the neighborhood. So if you know people walking around, tell them to come back over here so they can get voter registration later on tonight, and they might even be able to get a little grub. Right? So we gotta make sure that we are pushing the envelope. And I say that as I close out, I want us just to remember that if we really want to bring about change, that the thing that we have to realize is that each one of us has to be consistent. It's been said already, but I want to reiterate that point, is that when you do something one time and you hope to have something different, even if it changes in that one instant, the systems that are operating are going to recur and do the same things that they were doing before. These police operating systems are the things that's in place. We think that a couple of people talking about a bad cop. Well, it's a system, right? And there's cops who are extra bad operating in that system, but the system rewards them for their behavior. They continue to receive their salaries. They continue to receive all their pensions and benefits. So we've got to come up with new strategies to make sure that if we're uncomfortable, that they're uncomfortable. And if they're uncomfortable and their livelihoods are in jeopardy, that is their jobs, that they can't send their kids to college, that they can't pay their mortgages, that they can't do all the things that they want to do, then they may do something different. And that's how we have to think about it. What is going to put them in a position of being uncomfortable, not just on the job, but in their livelihoods? See, we want them to be comfortable out here standing on the street, and maybe they're nervous because it's a bunch of folks. Okay, that's fine. That's only tension while they're there. That doesn't threaten their livelihood, which means they're not going to change. See, if we want them to change, we got to change their actual livelihoods. It's not saying we're going to cause harm to them. That's not the point, but we're going to cause financial harm. And see, then that changes things, because if they can't afford to send their kids to college or to buy food or get their medical bills paid, you can rest assured they may not like you, but they're going to do something different. And that's how we have to get them. Hit folks where it hurts. And then maybe we can bring into being a new reality. And I think that's what we want to do, is that we've got to get this Community Civilian Review Board passed, and we've got to get it with subpoena power. We've got to have it with simultaneous investigations, right? All of these things, if you don't know about it and you're standing here in the neighborhood, you need to find out about it, because that's the thing that you're going to push to bring something different to the table that you don't currently know about. And that's the places that we need to operate, in the things that we don't know, that we bring that to the table and do something different. Power to the people. Power to the people. Ashe. Thank you.
Give brother a hand.